Welcome to my shoulders workout with Natural and Limitless Timothy Ye. Here I am doing my warm up with standing shoulder press. I usually do cleans, sometimes not, depending on the day. I start off with doing a few cleans, and when I'm too tired, I just start pressing away. When doing any type of standing presses, you want to make sure your abdominal is tight, therefore less stress on your lower back.
So if you're just starting off, you might want to go pretty light. Start off with the rack and just do presses. I like to do the clean because it makes it a bit more tiring. After I'm all warmed up, I do 4 sets of shoulder press. A drop set on the last one, usually working from heavy to low, with a rep range from 8 to 12 to probably 10, 8. Actually, wait, depends on which day I do it. Sometimes I go from more reps to less, or from less reps to more.
Basically, what I'm saying here is that on some days I go from heavy to low, or from lightweight to heavy, depending on how I feel, and it's always a good way to train by stimulating your muscle with strength and hypertrophy training. Throwing in some strength once in a while or some hypertrophy once in a while, just stimulating the muscle to grow, and making sure that your elbows are at 90 degrees or less. And when you push, you focus on your shoulders.
So this set felt pretty light, so I'm gonna go a bit heavier and probably do less reps. Last set I used 32.5. Now I'm gonna use 35. Aim for 7 to 8 reps. If I don't hit it, doesn't matter because I'm just gonna go for it and go to failure.
For those of you that don't know what failure is, or maybe we have a different understanding of failure, I want you guys to go till basically you're struggling on the last rep. And when you're struggling, you're either making it or you're not, or knowing that you're not going to make it on the next one and just taking a break and going back at it during your next set. And it's pretty hard to keep this mentality every time you train, but the better you do so, the faster you will grow. And that's really important, especially if you're keeping it natural and you want your advantage to go beast mode.
So I ended up doing more than 8, but I still went to failure, and luckily my buddy came in to help me out on the last one. And I still feel like I can go heavier, so I'm going to try for 37.5 next.
So here I am doing 82.5 pounds for my first time. Got in about 3.5 reps on my third set, so I was a little fatigued. And after I did this, I decided that for my drop set, I should go a lot lighter, really focus on mind-muscle connection, and just fucking shit up on the drop set.
So that was only 4 reps, but it felt real good.
Here I am using the 30 kilogram dumbbells, getting a good squeeze, just going till I can't anymore. Who cares if it's above 10 reps? Sometimes I do that for shoulders. I like to go with really high volume, do plenty of reps, feeling the burn. Shoulders are more of an endurance muscle, and if you want them to grow, it's always good to throw in maybe 20 to 30 reps for shoulder presses or any type of raises. And as soon as I felt like I couldn't do it anymore, I saved a bit of energy before I was really fatigued, catch my breath, and kept going with, I think, 25 kilograms, and I just repped it out.
I use the Easy Curl bar to do front raises. What you want to make sure is that you keep it straight. You don't have to go all the way down. You can keep tension in your shoulders, or go all the way down. It doesn't really matter how many you do, but as long as the bar is straight and you're not swinging it up and down. Usually I call these bitch raises because it's a bitch to keep them straight. And I do 4 sets for each arm, then I move on to doing them sideways. The difference between this and the dumbbell is that you have to focus a lot more on keeping them straight.
Trying to keep it straight makes it a lot harder to stabilize the bar. While doing so, you're also focusing a lot more on your shoulder, getting that good mind-muscle connection. If you train without it, you probably won't grow as fast, and it really does make a difference.
If you can't do these yet, I would suggest saving it in your inventory and starting off with dumbbells that you can do from 8 to 12 reps. My buddy Sean is using it with the dumbbells, and he's making sure that he still tries to keep it straight. And sooner or later, he'll probably do it more often with the bar. As you're doing it forward, you make sure that you're using your front delt and your mid delt, unlike when you raise it to the side. So that's why I usually do side raises at the end. So what I'm gonna do is just use the bar, which is 20 kilograms. Usually I use everything in pounds, but it's just because I'm in Taiwan. And everything here is in kilograms, which I'm just getting used to also. So you want to make sure your hands are even in place, not too far, not too close. Shoulder width, so not in front of your shoulders, but in a relaxed position. Bring it down to the bar. And while you do it, you want to keep your core tight and don't swing it. Just focus purely on using your shoulders. You also want to make sure that the bar is completely straight.
Just make sure that you're doing 4 sets of front raises, maybe a few more presses if you still have a bit more energy in your front delt. Right after that, 4 sets of side raises.
And please excuse my music, it's not my choice, it's just the gym playing it.
If you can't do this yet with good form, I would suggest just using dumbbells and don't worry about it. Try it out someday. You're going to be surprised when you can do it. As I always say, make sure that you're feeling the muscle that you're working. Don't just move the weight. The weights aren't your enemy. They're just there to help you squeeze it. Squeeze the muscle, get a good stretch. As you can see here, I was getting a bit tired. Started pressing. When you're pressing, same thing as earlier. You want to make sure abdominals tight, going as low as you can.
On the last set for this exercise, I decided to do some shoulder press because I couldn't do it anymore, and just to make sure I completely finished my front delt before moving on to the medial head. I have a weight that's not too heavy, not too light. Slight bend in the knees, slight bend in the arms. Bring it up, but not all the way down. Keep tension in the shoulders. And I usually just go until I'm too tired, and then I drop it right away. Therefore, on the next set, I probably won't do the same weight. And if I am, I probably could have done a few more extra reps.
Some days I go light, 20 to 30 reps. Some days I go heavier, 8 to 12.
And while you do it, try not to bounce your body. Just focus on using your delt.
Try to get a good squeeze at the top for half a second, maybe less. The better you can do that, the more gains basically. For this, I did a drop set on all 3 sets.
Side lateral raises. If I'm too tired, I usually just end up finishing shoulders with the machine, where you just pull it by the side. You can either keep your arms straight or have it bend in them, up to you. Whichever helps you feel it more in your medial delt. And you just go to failure and do a drop set at the end. And if you don't go all the way down, it really helps feeling the burn in your shoulder. And it really helps with the time under tension, which you should be focusing on for every lift that you're doing. Not worrying about the weight, but the stress on your muscle.
You can see that I'm really starting to feel the burn about now.
And at the end, if you have it in you, throw in a drop set.
And if you're me, every set's a drop set, basically.
There's no point of doing a drop set if you can still do more of that weight. It's only till failure.
Okay, fine. Not every set. Just usually with shoulder raises and calves. What else? Biceps for sure, which I do maybe once every 2 weeks.
And that's my shoulder routine. And moving on to traps now.
Here's Sean showing off the shirt that I gave him and my bulging shoulder pump.
Sets of traps doing shrugs with dumbbells, 8 to 12 reps. On the last one, I go to failure and add in a drop set. So what you want to do while doing it is keep your shoulders back and squeeze at the top. And don't do any of this spinning bullshit that I see people do, because I don't really see the use of it. What really helps is just getting a really nice squeeze at the top. And especially when you feel your head shake. Then you want to drop to a light weight. That's not too light, but still gives you a good squeeze. And while you do it, you want to make sure you're not using your arms to pull it up, and you're purely just squeezing from their traps. Oh. So we were about to leave the gym, but he wanted to be in the video a bit more. So I told him he can do a set of shoulder press, and I'll just throw it in there. And